Alright, getting ready to put the engine and tranny in this 68 coupe. You can see we've already converted to the Total Control Products power rack and pinion. Did the disc brake conversion up front as well. Can't see that high these wheels, but they're up there. Got the engine on the stand over here, 408 stroker. Got Hillbrock Victor Jr. aluminum heads. Hydraulic roller rockers, hydraulic roller cam. This is what I'm really interested in tonight. The new kit, TKO600. It's a 5-speed transmission rated for 600 foot-pounds of torque from Silver Sport Transmissions. Comes with the entire kit, which includes the bell housing down there, still wrapped up. Adapter plate, got the flywheel. I'll come around this way so you can see everything the way it's lined up. Flywheel, the clutch kit, and all these goodies over here. You can see they labeled pretty well the different hardware kits, so the different bolts and whatnot we need. And then we have the hydraulic conversion, that's part of it there, the braided steel line. This is actually for part of the mounting. Even got the shift lever and the pedal. There's the reservoir. There's the cable for the clutch. Even has like little pedal pads in here. You can do a conversion to your, if you have an automatic, you can do a conversion to your brake pedal and put that pad on. I actually don't have a pedal, I'm gonna have to buy one. And then there's the transmission support beam. What is that called? Something else than that. But it goes under the transmission anyways. And we'll have to do a little bit of modification for that. Just a couple holes drilled. And then the first step I'm going to be doing is actually going to be up under the car in the transmission tunnel. You can kind of see my disc brakes there. That's the backing plate. Nice. Alright, so just ahead of the opening for your shift lever, you have this little rib. Well, it's not really a little. I mean, you can see my hand on there. It's a pretty good size. Silver Sport provides a template we're gonna put on here, mark it, and cut it. And we're gonna clean it up with some silicone and paint it, and then we'll test fit. Once we test fit, we'll know whether or not we have to cut this. May have to trim a little bit off the front is what the instructions say. We'll see if that's the case. I'm actually gonna get the adjustable motor mounts from Ron Morris, and that'll allow me to move everything back and forward a little bit. So I don't think I'm gonna end up having to cut this, but this is required to cut. And what it does is it straightens everything up. So when we come in here and the transmission's mounted, we don't have an angle back here like this and then get off on our angle to our rear end and mess up the driveline angle. So this will straighten everything out and we'll be ready to go. So I started out with this template. First thing was determining the depth of my bell housing, because you see we either cut to one of these 3 dashed lines based on the depth of the bell housing. This is for the 67 to 70. I had the 6.9 inch bell housing. That's from front to back, or the depth again. And so you go ahead and cut it out into this U shape, the template into this U shape, following that pattern. template goes up onto the rib. You can see I already cut it out, but I'm gonna try and get a shot here. Put the template on, or just sit on there. So those front edges sit on the front of the rib. That's towards the front of the car. So the front edge sits on the front there. That you get that U shape, which is really kind of hard to see under here. Just in there, it'll be easy to see now because I've already cut that U shape out. So you can see this is the front of the car. And then I cut along the front edge here. So I'm getting ready to start prying and getting this out of here. So one thing I did have a tiny issue with was these corners didn't come off. I cut all the way to as far as I could with my rotating cutting tool, my cheap ass Harbor Freight one. Don't buy one of these. But it wouldn't get into these corners with everything in there. So I pried it down so it was down like this. Actually, here's the piece here. So it was sitting down like this. And then I took my Sawzall and I just cut the corners off. All right, so I got this cut out. Again, this is the front of the car. This is the back U-shape. Not the cleanest cut, but it'll do. I'll go ahead and clean up the edges, paint it, and I'll probably do that after a test fit actually, because we'll test fit, make sure I don't have to take any more out, and bang on some stuff possibly. So that's where we're at.